Good morning. Today's Saturday, and for those that don't know, I'm Simon, and on May the 13th, 1998, I had the idea and the vision to start Winners 2000. October the 10th, I viewed the premises. October the 20th, 1999, formed the business, and then we opened the doors January the 2nd, 2000, over at 6A Dartmouth Road in Payton, where I'm going to take you and show you around, which is now a boxing club. So I thought it was only fitting that I did the first vlog, the first Winners for Life. And the idea is we're going to show you behind the scenes a little bit. You're going to get to meet some of the people that are involved in Winners 2000. And also we're going to share some of the stories from our members. But first of all, it's a Saturday, which means we box. And before we box, we have to do a little bit of cardio. We've got like a 40-minute bike ride. Then we've got a very nasty 2K row. Then we've got some mobility and some rolling, get ourselves ready, get nice and loose. Then we're going over to the Payton Club to see Liam and box with him from 9 o'clock. And I'll probably get to show you some of the guys over there, so I better get to it. That's enough of that cruising around, chilling out. Can't put it off any longer. Need to get back and nail that 2K. 2Ks are like a necessary evil. So I have a strict agreement with myself that I'll always pull 3 a week, and they have to be 6:45 and under. So it's pretty nasty. I actually dread it. Like the day before I've got to know I've got to do it, I'll be dreading it. And that night when I go to bed, I'll be dreading it. When I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll be thinking, how many hours have I got until I have to pull that 2K? But to be fair, once it's done, and you've yacked up out the window of your gym, you feel much better for it. So I better get back to work. There's levels to this. Right, that's probably the nicest bit of today's training done. So that's like a nice 40-minute chill out bike ride, which is kind of just like a warm-up really. And I tend to do it a bit slower when I know I've got a 2K coming up. So 2K rows, I should probably give you a bit of a training info, shouldn't I, since this is a gym vlog. So why do I do 2K rows? Well, they're very hard, they're very nasty. They're very measurable and they're very good for you, to be honest. So this is going to give me a huge kick of lactic acid, which has loads of benefits and some negatives. But probably I do these more for like psychological and like nutcase reasons, to be totally honest with you. Like, this is just hard. So I do these types of things because I think to myself, I'm doing it and nobody else is. That I'm still as tough as I think I am. That I'm never going to quit anything that's important to me. And whatever sort of dark motivation I want to use to get me through these 200 pulls, I'm going to use it. In terms of technique, if you're specifically training for rowing, if you're saying like I want to compete in events and stuff, you're probably going to work what we call long to short, which means you do lots of volume, lots of distance, and then bring it down. You can work short to long, which is where you sort of work on like your max effort 150s, 200s, and you can do a combination of both, which is what I would recommend people did, worked on their distances as well as working on their max efforts. And alongside that, obviously, you want to improve the strength and power in your legs. Something that I've found works really well for rowing is knee stiffness. So like weighted jumps, weighted bounds, power cleans, like high catch power cleans, they work really well. What you'll find is if your knees are a bit blancmangy and you get a bit fatigued on this, you do lose a bit of power in your stroke. How am I going to do this? So I kind of know by the time I get, say, 30 pulls into this, I'll know like how it's going to go and how hard it's going to be and whether I'm going to be sick out the window when I finish. So for me, I think it's 200 pulls, it's 4 sets of 50. On that first 50, what I'm going to try and do is like maybe get to about 138. So I'll probably go pretty quick over the first 50, and then I want to lose the middle 100. That sounds a bit weird, but mentally and physically, I just want to lose the middle 100. And in my head, all I'm saying is smooth, 144, 145, 144, 145. I'll probably close my eyes, won't even look, on a good day, I'll just be pulling 144, maybe even 143, and I won't even be looking at it, and I'll be thinking about anything else I can to just completely lose that middle 100. And then when I get to the last 50, I'll say something to myself like, it's only 50, like, you're not going to stop now, eh? Just, you know, come on, it's almost over now. And then I either go, and go means like max effort pull really, from either 30, 25 or 20, depending on where my time's looking. If my time's a bit dodgy, then I'll probably have to go from 30 or 35, and that's when you know you're going to be proper sick. If I'm in a good place, then I'll probably just go from 20 today. Provided I'm under 645, I'll be able to live with myself. If not, I've got to do it again. Simple as that. So that's not a pleasant experience. I've even got my own playlist for a 2K row, which is called 639. Some rocky tracks, because this ain't fun. So I'm going to stop talking and stop putting it off. I'm actually going to film it for you and the aftermath. And if I am stick out the window or a blackout, you'll get to see it. And I'll get Brad to time lapse it, so you're not sat there watching 7 minutes of me pulling a row machine. Six 37, motherfucker. Let's just stay here for a bit. 637's good. That's fast I've been for a while. I have this like thing where every year of my life I have to row sub 640. Don't even feel that bad, to be honest. Whoa. So like my all-time PB is 628, which I did about 2003, something like that. And my guess is right now, if I really train for it, I could probably get this down to like 631, 632, something like that. But rowing is great for staying lean. Like if you want to be lean, it's about, gosh, it's got rocky in me, isn't it? It's about the best thing you can do in terms of getting shredded, because you're going to produce huge amounts of lactic acid, which will in turn give you a small increase in growth hormone. Small, not massive. And it also has an epoch effect. Now, People misunderstand EPOC and say, oh, EPOC is insignificant. Well, EPOC, which means post-exercise oxygen consumption, you'll be sick of me. Basically, if you're somebody that has good muscle mass, then the EPOC's pretty significant. After something like a 2K row for somebody with no muscle mass, the EPOC is pretty insignificant. Some people say, oh, EPOC's rubbish. It's not. If you've got some muscle mass, if you're strength training, and then you hit things like 2Ks, you get shredded. What I have to be careful is, if I'm trying to gain strength and gain weight, which I have been, this sort of stuff's a little bit counterproductive, which is why in some phases I'll say, right, I'm going to drop to 1 or 2 a week, not because I'm going soft, purely because it might eat into what I'm trying to do in my squat and my deadlift. Oh, I could stay here. Anyway, am I going on about stuff? Am I delirious? Right, now we've got to roll and mobilise. Now we've got to do some work, and we've got to get over to Peyton. So I call this part Flow with Joe. Why? Because I normally watch Joe Rogan when I'm doing it, but this is all like hip mobility, all the boring stuff, all the real necessary evil. So if you're trying to improve performance in any way, like say Olympic lifting, speed, rugby, whatever it is, like you'll reach a point where your movement quality will be what limits you. So for example, you'll start tearing your groins and your hamstrings when you try and move quickly, or you just want me to get to the bottom position. And like with the more wear and tear that's on your body, so if you're playing contact sports like American football like I did, you're going to get lots of damage, and the more damage you get, the more of this crap you have to do. Ain't boring, ain't sexy, don't give you a pump, but it's a necessary evil. And if you're like limited on your strength development or limited on your speed or something, maybe just take a look at some decent flow. You can always watch Joe Rogan. I used to do that with a friend of mine. I used to watch Joe Rogan and do loads and loads of flow in the morning. Nothing better than that. So this is definitely the worst part of running a business for someone like me, anyone who's just like a meathead really. So I hate being at my desk, I hate it, but I realise that as the business grows, it's very different to how it was in 2000 when we started, where I was just in the gym front and centre. And the reality is now it's a big business and a lot of people rely on me to do this. So how I kind of reconcile it and how I motivate myself to do it is I think about all the good people I work with, like Ethan, like Fuge, like Hannah, like all these people, and I think to myself, look, they're the ones that are with the customers now, they're the ones that are with you lot, the members, and they're giving a great service, and it's my job to organise and direct and guide them really so they can perform at their best, enjoy their jobs, etc. But I would be lying if I said I like this part. I hate this part of my job, especially like the impact it has on your training when you sat down for hours. If I could change one thing, it would be like to get to a point where I didn't have to do any desk work at all, and I could just train all day, live like an athlete. That's the dream. So like this is me. This is my like brainstorm pad, my blue brainstorm pad. Like anytime I need to plan anything. Here's Tom Brady. That's my Tom Brady from the ultimate athlete of all time. And we're just sending Dean some shitty emails just to tell him all the things he hasn't done properly. And then what time is it? Oh, we're late, right. So I've got to get up to Peyton now and see my man Liam and see if I can break his ribs like I've been promising him. So catch you in Peyton. And just like that, we're at Peyton. I actually just pulled into the car park and some lad was outside having just yacked up in the toilet, so he's obviously had a good workout. So this is actually the third incarnation of our Peyton Club. So those of you who've been with us for a while, we started off in Dartmouth Road, which I'm going to take you to. We then moved to Nortel, And then we moved in here. We moved in here the day that Aguero scored that goal for Man City to win the league, which was 2012. Basically, as the club got bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, we needed better premises. So this used to be a gymnastics club, and we bought it in 2012, moved in May 2012. This is really the club that Johnny built. So, you know, my right-hand man, Johnny, finally decided he'd had enough of me after 20 years, about this time last year. But this is really the club that Johnny built. Every time I come here, this feels like coming home. And even though it's not the same place, so the same building, this feels like coming home, because there's a lot of people here today that, you know, I've been here for 20 years. I've seen them grow up, I've seen them have children, and in some cases I've seen their children have children. So it's always nice. I love coming here to paint, and this just feels like home. We've got to go in and get warmed up. We're going to see who's around. I think Liam's got a class, and then we're going to see if we can break his ribs. Right, that was rough. That was rough. I've forgotten how hard that was. Took a nice little right hook as well for being lazy with my hands. Right, that's boxing done. We 2K down. Tomorrow we got a squat. Sunday we squat. So I need to go refuel, get some calories in, and I've got to get a bit more work done. So I'll see you in the morning.